right? We're eternal and unlimited and minuscule at the same time.
That's okay.
And yeah, and when we get it, that's why that's why he's saying there's a hub, right? There's a center of all this, and we're like planets revolving around that center. If you can see it that way, all the pieces of the picture fall together. You can understand what is my place in the universe.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator of the Bhakti Center in New York, Kostubadas. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, which is Walk on Wednesday. Walk on Wednesday is a time where we bring in somebody from our audience, pick their brain for a few minutes, get to the bottom of their life. And but before we do that, Miss Mara, do we have any announcements?
Yes, we do. Join Wisdom of the Sages at the beautiful Govardhan Eco Village for our Light on Wisdom training, January 12th through 24th. If you've ever wanted time away from the daily grind to learn yoga wisdom in depth and have all your questions answered in a supportive environment, this is an opportunity that can't be missed. Go to wisdomofthesages.com for more info and to register.
You know what? I've never really thought about that expression, the daily grind. And then coffee shops steal that, the daily grind. But you know what? The material world does that. It has hey, Kostuba, it's got a grinding effect, doesn't it, Kostuba?
It grinds you down.
Material world just grinds you. Like, what is a grinder? Before that expression, what is a grinder?
I think I like a spice grinder.
Oh, yeah. Grinds you like a peppercorn. Just turning it. Here, who wants pepper on their pasta? How are you, Kostuba?
I'm doing good, Raghunath.
Good? You getting psyched up for India? For India Tuesday?
One step at a time. One step at a time.
Okay.
Can I make one more announcement that I forgot?
Yeah, sure.
Our live studio audience just reminded me that there's in-person recovery group meetings in Philly every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m.
And we got the Bhakti Recovery.
And how do they find out about that?
Yeah, how do they find out about that?
BhaktiRecoveryGroup.com.
All right.
Or the website's under maintenance.
Okay, so you just found out about it right now.
Just wander around. What was that area in Philadelphia?
Kensington.
There you go. Just wander around there and ask for Bhakti Recovery.
Look for people huddled together. That's probably a meeting
okay.
of sorts. Yeah, Bhakti Recovery is happening in full force in real time, in real life. Here, Sunday at Super Soul Farm. And you don't even have to be signed up for the entire weekend. You can come for the day, hang with us. What time does it start on Friday?
9:30.
9:30, Super Soul Farm. You want to come, email Miss Mara or Miss Jiva, who's here live with us today.
Distracting us.
She and me, we're like twins separated at birth, me and Jiva. Okay, let's bring on Bobby, our Walk on Wednesday. Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Good morning, Prabhu. Good morning.
Good morning. Bobby Marchand here.
Good morning.
She's a beloved yoga teacher, empowered yoga teacher. Was in Brooklyn, moved upstate, teaches up here, lives here with her beautiful kid that we all love, Frankie. And she's here to tell us about the 200 and 300 hour trainings this year in January at the Govardhan Eco Village.
Mm-hmm.
Harry
Thank you. Harry Bull. It's amazing to be here with the three of you and all of you. Thank you.
You sound like you're trying not to wake up little Frankie.
Oh, it's a little bit, but she knows. It's more that, I'm not sure if we want the dragon barreling downstairs. But,
gotcha.
But good morning.
Good morning. I'm excited to get back out there with you and teach yoga. It's like we all come together. A part of it is just like the community of teachers, which I really love. They're all like my best friends. And then the community that just comes out and the people we've never met. And you want to talk a little bit how we're adding 200 hour and 300 hour, and Lori Pag's a big part of that this year.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like I am on a dream team, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this magic that, that's really upheld by the two of you. And I will say that going to India every January lasts me until right now. And right around now, I start to get like itchy,
Yeah, me too.
spiritually
too.
itchy to get
Yeah.
back to what I think, we come from wherever we're coming from in the world, and we're so overloaded,
Right.
all whatever we come from, wherever we're coming from. And we
Yeah.
get to the GEV and we have the opportunity to actually live a yoga practice for a month in the
Sure.
way that, Radhanath Swami made this space that's so, which is what I think we all go to yoga to try to, that
Try
the
to
daily
get.
grind that you were talking about, we try to step out of the daily grind, and we get to do that for a month and train how
I
to be in the world in a much more peaceful, beautiful, loving, gracious way. And we don't do that in isolation. We do
Yeah.
that in association, and that's magic. So
I feel the
you
same way. I feel the
you
same way.
know
It's like I'm like one of those um what do you call those, battery charged bunnies?
yeah.
Energizer bunnies, and I'm going all year from that January month. And it's keeping me going, it's keeping me charged. And then it's sort of like I start wearing down as a year because we're getting ground. We're getting the material
Yes.
world has got us
Totally.
in the grind, so to speak. It was a good expression in that introduction.
Yeah.
But it's not like you go to, and people are thinking, well, I'm going to go to India because, all the unicorns live there and the magic of India. Very often you go to India and you get ground even more, right? Because
Mhm.
you go through
Gonna
just
have to
crossing the street in Bombay is like, I want to go home. I risk my life here. And it's a little intense. But Radha Swami, in his great foresight, um, uh, he told me that when he lived in Vrindavan, he used to walk around Vrindavan every day. And then he said when he became a regular Hare Krishna, moved into the ashram, he went to New Vrindavan to live in America. He went to a big ashram farm in America. And he said he would take that walk in his mind every day. And he sort of recreated a little Vrindavan just from his mind of what it was like in those old days, because even Vrindavan, the village now, is so built up. It's not that peaceful. You have to go to the outskirts of Vrindavan to find some peace. And India is a cacophony of sometimes noise and not peace. You have to know how to dig for peace there. But he's really created sort of like just a nest for you to just land and recuperate and detoxify. And it's just mixed. All his people run it, and they take such good care of us. But the courses are great this year. We have 200-hour, 300-hour. We have a Mridanga training and a Kirtan training. And of course, we have the Wisdom of the Sages training, which is philosophical. And we all come together every morning, every evening. I do the satsang and the kirtan in the morning and the evening, and then we have yoga, and then we all go our separate ways to our different courses. What are you teaching this year for your personal self? What are you teaching?
My personal self. This year I'm teaching yin yoga, yoga nidra. I'm teaching Ayurveda for yoga teachers. I'm teaching part of the kirtan piece in the 200 and 300 hour. And then Cindy and Lori and I are all sharing things like asana, anatomy, vocabulary. And what I really like about this training in particular, I'm very fortunate I get to pop into different teacher trainings,
Yeah.
is the setting that we're in, because it actually allows us the time and space to be in both like active learning time and then absorption time, and seeing how everybody around us is implementing a yoga practice in their life. So there are people like the people who work at the eco village, are maintaining the village in a really like beautiful, spiritually oriented way. And so we just live in that bhav the whole time. So what I notice is that when people finish the training, is that they're ready to go into the world in that mood, and almost like almost like with this force field around them,
Mm.
that the material world, the material yoga world isn't just going to puncture and
Yeah.
like, oh, well, now I need to go back and like be like a yoga teacher wherever I am. But like, this is how, they get to see yoga lived and presented in a way that is in deeper connection to what yoga's intention is.
In context. In
Yeah,
context.
the
And this-
context piece too is
and
I had a great 200 hour.
Mm.
And then when I came to India with you for the first time, I got to see, like, oh, that's what that means.
Oh,
Oh,
that's how
okay.
this works together.
Yeah.
It's like
So you
almost
get
taking
on-
like some salt and you're like, oh, salt is very wonderful. It makes my tongue feel special. And they're like, no, you're supposed to sprinkle it on the veggies and the potatoes. And you're like, oh, now I get it. It enhances things. So this training, we like to give the whole meal, so to speak, of the yoga system. We have
Absolutely.
pranayama, asanas, of course, but we teach the
Yeah.
philosophy because Stuba teaches
Oh yeah, I'm
philosophy.
teaching pranayama too.
Makes it
But
very
also,
practical, very
yeah,
real. We have
and
music, kirtan for yoga teachers, Ayurveda for yoga teachers. I just feel like it's a complete offering.
I do too. And there's so much that is missing from, I mean, that's not me like poo-pooing on their teacher trainings. They give what they can in the community that's around them. And to be able to be part of something that is with people that have practiced so deeply for so long. And it's really, really magical. I keep on saying the
And
word
with you
magical,
and
but that's what
Lori
it feels like. It feels like magic.
with you, Lori, Cindy Kostuba, that's like a combination of years studying yoga, like 700 years of yoga teaching. Anyway, thank you. We're super excited.
Thank you.
And
I
how do people get more info or ask a question?
How do they ask questions?
Yeah, who do they
Well,
contact?
they can find me on Instagram and send me a message at just at Bobby, Bobbie, Marchand, Marchand, or they can go to raghunath.yoga and
Okay.
click on the teacher training page.
You can send the
But
email
we're
there,
always
too.
willing to ask questions, and I think that's actually something that's very special about the training is when people come, there's so many different avenues in a way that like, oh, I have a question and oh man, I wish there was an amazing philosophy teacher that I could ask that. Oh, wait, you have one. Oh man, I wish I could translate bhakti into practical day. Oh wait, there's a person for that too. Oh wait, I wish there was someone who, just like knows how to get people towards them. Oh wait, we got Lori Pag who like sells her classes out, like 75 people in Rhode Island, like people come from every direction to see her. Oh wait, I wish I knew how to have somebody who could like teach me how to get into Scorpion and teach that. Like there's so many.
Yeah.
You've
Bunch
got a
of
question.
seasoned teachers who've been incorporating it into their life
Yeah.
for decades, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a good
So,
thing going.
we
Bobby,
do.
we're excited.
I'm
Looking
so
forward to it.
excited. And if you've come again.
Yeah. It's one of these things. You just reach out to us.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Linda just mentioned you don't have to want to be a yoga teacher.
Yeah,
A
Linda
lot of
did.
people
She
come
didn't wanna
because
be a
they want to
yoga
deepen
teacher.
their study and understand more and put all the contexts together.
Mara did it too. I forgot that.
Mara did it too.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I loved it. Are you kidding? It was
All right.
If you ever, yeah. And if you're like, hey,
Forgot
Mara, do you
about
want to teach
that.
a yoga class? She looks at you like this.
No, I just want to cook stuff. All right. Well, thanks, Bobby.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you,
me.
Bobby.
Love you and see you this weekend at the Wisdom of Sages retreat.
Sure will.
All right. Hairball love to Frankie.
I will. Thank you.
Whew. All right, Kastubi.
Okay.
Narayanam namaskutya chaivanarottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu vadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamurandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Mudatam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto, let's see, 8, text, chapter 5, text 26.
Yeah. We have Lord Brahma speaking.
Lord Brahma.
You know,
Okay.
we were saying yesterday, he's just opening up. They're going there with a request, I suppose, right? The Devas
Let me think about it. What's going on here?
they got
Okay.
cursed. Remember, they got
Oh,
cursed.
yeah. The Devas
also.
are weak. They're cursed. They approach
getting-
Lord Brahma.
They're getting
Please
overrun
help us.
by the demons. So there's been panic in the air. So Indra, along with the Devas, went to see Brahma in the higher, more peaceful areas of the universe. And Brahma was like, okay, all right. He kind of went in, thought about it, connected with Vishnu in his heart, came back, said, we need to go to talk to Lord Vishnu. We need to bring this to him. So they went to Dweep. And when you get to Dweep, it's like this, it's like you're on a beach.
Yeah.
And we need to picture this, right?
It's sort of a seaside town, would you say?
I don't know if there's I don't know if there's a town there or not, but there may be. But there's a beach. There's definitely a beach.
Yeah.
And then there's this milky ocean. And then way out there in that ocean, that Lord Vishnu is lying on Sheshanaga on this couch made of a snake, right? Sounds far out. And he's just resting there peacefully in his divine meditation. And so now Brahma is kind of the representative of all the Devas. He's kind of speaking on their behalf. He opens up with the prayers. You turn to the best representative, okay, that's going to be Brahma. He's going to know how to express what we need to express. So he opens up, and we're saying, he starts speaking all these prayers, but if you look at it the wrong way, like if you look at it through skeptical eyes, it's like, oh, he's groveling before the Lord, he's bowing and submitting and minimizing his own worth, and like you might say, no. He's speaking from his heart, appreciation, saturated with love for this divine being who's his everything, who's maintaining him and provided such love and guidance and really provided everything. So that's what's coming out. But there's a lot of reverence in it. So just like we were talking about that yesterday, right? Sometimes you meet oh my God, the book that you wrote changed my life. You have no idea. That's worship in a sense. That's and so it's like that. He's opening up and glorifying Lord Vishnu.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful. Appreciation. It's appreciation.
Yeah.
You want to share. Sometimes you just need to share with someone, like, you've done so much for me. Thank you.
You are so beautiful to me.
You are. Thank you for saying that, though. I feel this. Lord Brahma said, O Supreme Lord, O changeless. I wonder if Lord Brahma chooses one of his heads to speak. Or do they all speak at once, like in a thunderous tone?
I'm guessing one.
They probably are like, who's going to talk? Who's going to share this one? Who wants to talk first? I will.
Maybe he speaks certain things through certain mouths. I think I may have come across something like that, right? Like when he's speaking on this level, he's talking out of this mouth.
And when he bows down, is it every head? I mean, which forehead hits the ground?
They're all connected to the body. Let's not worry about that.
I think of these things.
All right.
Don't you?
It's eating
Are
you
they
up.
all facing the same direction? Or they're they're in different directions, right?
Well, that's usually how he's pictured,
Portrayed.
portrayed.
O Supreme Lord, O changeless, unlimited, supreme truth, you are the origin of everything,
Hmm.
being all pervading. You are in everyone's heart and also in the atom.
Okay.
You have no material qualities. Indeed, you are inconceivable. The mind cannot catch you by speculation, and words fail to describe you. That's right. You can't describe.
Our words can't catch up. Our mind can't catch up. He's beyond it all.
You are the supreme master of everyone, and therefore you are worshipable for everyone. We offer our respectful obeisances to you. Let me ask you a question, philosopher. Is every bacteria a living being?
That's the question you ask a biologist, but yeah, from what I understand.
Okay, so it means
Bacteria is
there's a paramatma, a super soul, in every bacteria in
Well,
my
in every
body.
atom that's within the
Are
bacteria. even
atoms
within
living
every-
beings, or they're just like
Well,
parts of
they
matter?
are alive, right? I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
there's a lot of energy spinning around in there.
There's energy in there. Maybe is that all right? So I've got millions of Lord Vishnus in my heart,
Well,
in
in
my
every
body.
cell, in every atom, yeah. He's all pervasive. This is what Vishnu means, is that he's all pervading, you know?
Okay. There's a lot of jivas also in my body, right?
Well, I don't know if
I never even really thought about this.
well, if we open up your gut,
I'm filled with jivas.
there's
And
there's
what to speak of, if you're eating probiotics, are you eating jivas right there?
if you eat anything alive,
Probiotics.
everywhere. I'm Googling so because there's a saying, it may even be from Bhagavatam, although I forget, but that, like the jivas are everywhere, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of all pervading, but maybe I can find that later.
All right. I guess I'm like a
Life
universe.
is everywhere.
My body is a universe for all these jivas, huh?
Your body is a universe, right?
I'm like a planet.
You're more than a planet. You're a universe.
I'm like
with many planets in it.
I'm like a planet on a planet that's also a being, and I'm eating from this planet. I'm a bacteria of this planet.
That's right.
Right? Interesting. We're eating jivas from
So-
California.
No, so he's kind of glorifying Lord Vishnu. He's saying, your glories are so inestimable, right? They're just so beyond. You really can't overestimate all that he's doing because he's maintaining everything, and everything is his energy.
Yeah.
So he's saying, therefore, and he uses this term. What does he say? Let me pull that back up. He says, like, you're the master. You are the supreme master of everyone, and therefore you are worshipable for everyone. I think a few weeks back we said when we think master, don't think slave master, think kung fu master. I think here we can think a little bit more like dog master. Like the dog has its master,
Right.
and it's like that person that loves it and cares for it and provides everything for it.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where that is the nature of our relationship. Where everything's provided for us. There's a loving person, and so when he says that, we can think not so much slave master. Oh, you're the slave master. Everyone has to worship. No.
It's the loving master. You're
Dog
my master.
master.
You're my master.
It's a dog master.
Will you rub my tummy?
Let's keep it moving.
Okay. Text 27. The Supreme Personality of Godhead directly and indirectly knows how everything, including the living force, mind, and intelligence, is working under his control. He is the illuminator of everything and has no ignorance. He does not have a material body subject to the reactions of previous activities,
Okay.
and he is free from the ignorance of partiality and materialistic education. I therefore take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, who is eternal, all-pervading, and as great as the sky, and who appears with 6 opulences in the 3 yugas, Satya, Treta, and Dwapara.
So yeah, he's as great as the sky. Everything is existing within the sky in one sense. Everything is existing with him, and he's omniscient. He has his awareness is spread over the entire thing. There's nothing that they can come and tell him that he's not aware of.
Mm.
There's nothing that he's blind to. Sometimes we go to someone for justice, but maybe we're worried that they're not getting the whole picture, you know? Okay, well, why don't we go and let someone else decide? Let this person decide. Yeah, but they don't understand the whole thing, you know?
Right.
And he understands the whole thing. You know, the Devas have their troubles right now. There's some disruption. They're going to a person that's not like, you know, it is a worry. You know, I'm going to go to someone for advice or what to speak of to be a mediator. And if they don't, you know, maybe they're biased or maybe they're not fully informed. So they're going to make a decision based on a lack of information. No. Vishnu is not like he's everything's within him. His awareness is he's omniscient. His awareness is spread through there's not an atom where his awareness isn't present.
All right, text 28. In the cycle of material activities, the material body resembles the wheel of a mental chariot. Interesting. The 10 senses, 5 for working, 5 for gathering knowledge, and the 5 life airs within the body form the 15 spokes of the chariot's wheel.
Do you know the 5 airs?
Yeah. Prana, apana. Let's see.
Sure.
Remember. Apana. I haven't done this one in a while.
Phone a friend?
Huh?
Phone a friend?
Phone a friend, Mayor, the 5 airs.
I thought I heard you speak on that before.
I've said Udana, Prana, Samana, Vyana, and one's actually called Prana, the 5.
Yeah, they're kind of
Samana, Apana, Vyana, Prana. Anyway.
They say that our ability to move and for the bodily functions is functioning by the power of air.
It's a different type of paradigm of analyzing the body. We have our ways of doing it if we go to the doctor, but the yogis say there's 5 airs in the body for closing and opening your eyes, for evacuating or giving birth, for respiratory, for laughing. They're all different airs within the body, and they say mental illness also comes from a imbalance of these airs as well. There's certain diseases they say cause from imbalance of air. It's just a different way to study health and well-being. So the yogis say these pranas have to be in order, and that's why the pranayama means like yama means your restrictions, and it's not like your pranas are on autopilot. You're actually controlling your prana and using them appropriately instead of just walking through life and not really thinking of how you breathe. And you can control and manipulate your prana so it actually serves you instead of works against you. Huh?
Thank you, Raghunath.
You like that?
Explanation. Yeah. So we're hearing.
You did a pranayama this morning.
Oh, excellent. So we have the material bodies being described as saying you can think of it like a chariot, or you could, when it says a mental chariot, I assume that's meaning like you can conceive of it like this, right? That the 10 senses, along with these 5 airs, and they have 10 senses, right? The 5 that we know of, those are called here it's saying for gathering knowledge, jnana indriyas, the knowledge senses, and then there's the working senses. Karmendriyas, which are the ability to move around, like your legs, you could say, the ability to grip and manipulate, you say the hands, the voice, and then the organs for evacuation and the organs for reproduction. So that's 10 senses, 5 life airs. There's the body, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Text 29.
No, we're still, it's getting started on 28.
Finish it? Did I finish reading it? I'm sorry.
No. The 10 senses and the 5 life airs within the body form 15 spokes to the chariot's wheel.
The 3 modes.
The 3 modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are its center of activities. And the 8 ingredients of nature, earth, water, fire, air, ether, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego, comprise the rim of the wheel. The external material energy moves this wheel like electrical energy. Thus,
Okay.
the wheel revolves very quickly around its hub or central support, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the super soul and the ultimate truth. Okay. We offer our respectful obeisances unto him.
Okay. Yeah. So he's saying there's this wheel of samsara, right? And it rolls, and at the center of it, the one that's maintained, the one that's conceived of it, the one that's provided all the ingredients for it, the one that is actually monitoring everything and seeing that it rolls as it's meant to roll,
Yeah.
is Lord Vishnu in the middle. And again, it's kind of like there's a practicality to all these prayers. It's like sometimes an awkward thing is you ever have this kind of awkward thing happen, Raghunath, where like you're talking to someone, you don't realize actually the position that they're in.
What do you mean?
Well, like say you're talking to someone about like hypothetically, let's say you were talking to someone about football,
Right.
and like you're
actually
explaining,
a professional football player.
and the guy's like a professional coach or something like that, right? So, and then someone
I'm
kind of
trying to
like
tell
elbows
him
you and
my
says,
theories.
"Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to a professional
I
football
do that
coach."
all the time. I'm always posing as an expert at things.
So what Lord Brahma is doing is he's kind of establishing the center. He's saying, let us, as we speak to you, I'm, if you're going to go to that coach for advice, you'd say, look, you're the coach of the most successful football team, in the history of the game. That's why I'm coming to you. It's kind of like, and now he's saying, okay, he knows who I am. He recognizes what I'm capable of. Now I'll be able to speak to him in such a way that he'll be able to receive it. You know what I'm saying? When you express that, it's establishing the relationship, and by establishing the nature of the relationship, it facilitates the transfer, right?
Right.
If that football coach thinks you don't know who he is and you don't know all that he's got to offer, then it's gonna hinder his ability to communicate with you. But if you come right out and say, I know who you are, I know your abilities, I have full faith in what you're saying, can you help me understand this? Then he's like, okay, here it comes, right? And I was also thinking about that, by calling him the center, the hub of the wheel of samsara, right? That this universe is moving in a way, there's creation and destruction. It's a wheel that's rolling, it's up and then down, create, destruct.
Right.
And he's saying, you're the hub of it, it's all revolving around you. But by saying that, just commonly, to understand a circumstance, you have to understand its center. Like, let's say we're on the planet Earth and we're flying through space, and say you have no knowledge of the solar system.
Right.
Then you might, what is my relation to the moon? What is my relation to Mars? What is my relationship to Jupiter? You could be trying to figure all of this out, but it would be, well, these are passing by at random times, but when you understand that the sun is in the center, then you can just line everything up and make sense of it all. I see, you gave me the center point. Once you give me the center point, I can begin to understand everything in relation to that center. And by speaking of Lord Vishnu as the center of the wheel of samsara, as the center of the movements of the universe, now we can understand who we are, who you are, and how we all relate. So he's laying this all out. It's a really, brilliant way to, it's a heartfelt way, but it's in terms of knowledge, it's a very solid way that he's laying out these prayers.
Okay. Text 29. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, and therefore he is Eka Varna, the Omkara, or the Pranava, right? Because the Lord is beyond the cosmic manifestation, which is considered to be darkness, he is not visible to material eyes. Isn't that interesting? Like even something incredibly beautiful, like you're in some beautiful beach with a morning sun rising, that's still a type of darkness, isn't it? Because the spiritual world is self-illuminating.
Yeah, it's hard for us to conceive that darkness is an artificial circumstance. Like, right.
Nonetheless, he is not separated from us by time or space, but is present everywhere. Seated on his chariot, Garuda. He is worshipped by means of mystical yogic power by those who have achieved freedom from agitation. What a nice little statement. Freedom from agitation. Let us all offer our respectful obeisances unto him.
Yeah. So he's saying, I'm here with all the Devas, and they're all agitated, right? They're like, they're not beyond agitation. So their ability to be fully absorbed in you and therefore be fearless and content, it's not quite there. But because of who you are and your qualities, the yogis, those who are beyond agitation, those who are more elevated than the crowd that I'm with here currently, in a sense, is what he's saying. You know, they connect with you. You know, they have the ability to fully connect with you. You know, there was a little bit of the commentary from the previous verse. It all plays in, but Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada writes.
What does he say? What does he say?
He says the material body, the living entity, that means our bodies, right? Each one of us is a result of the conditioned soul's activities, right? It's due to our previous actions. We get a certain type of body. And because the supporter is the super soul is the true reality. There's one in the center of it, right? There's one person saying, okay, here, take this body, here, take this body, but that stays the same. You know, like in a hub, the hub stays in one spot and everything else is moving.
Right.
He says, every one of us, therefore, should offer respectful obeisances to this central reality. One should not be misguided by the activities of this material world and forget the central point, the absolute truth. That is the instruction given here by Lord Brahma.
This is an interesting little side note here, side squirrel.
You know,
It's interesting, like Mara was sneezing, and like Jiva is over there saying Kazutite, or people say God. People still say God bless you.
Yeah.
For a sneeze. So here's my first question. Why don't we say it, like, where is that from? I guess it means you were sick or something, and we want God to bless you because you're sick.
Yeah, I think so. It's like, oh, you must be catching a cold. I hope you don't get sick. May God bless you.
Is it, do secular people say that? Atheists say God bless you?
Well, if
So
they
I think
say
it's
it,
become hard to
obviously they have a
speak.
different conception
What
of
does Gesundheit mean?
good health.
Good health. Gesundheit. All right. It's
It's a more
Yiddish.
secular sneeze response.
Good health. Okay. And another interesting thing is, why don't they do it for coughing?
I know. It seems like if you're
Seems
coughing,
like it's like coughing. Just
more-
keep coughing. You're okay. We're okay with that. But sneezing, we gotta say something.
Sneeze
Okay,
is
that's
more
my squirrel for the
expressive.
morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Back to Lord Brahma, the most brilliant being in the universe, is meditations to Lord Vishnu.
Okay. Let's see.
Seek
X30. No one can overcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead's illusory energy, Maya, which is so strong that it bewilders everyone, making one lose the sense to understand the aim of life. Oh, how true. Maya is so strong that you can get so, it's like you're driving with your maps, Google Maps, and you're like off the wrong course, and it's just like
you have arrived at your destination.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
Yes. This is my destination. Yeah, we're so off course, it seems. And that's why sometimes people, when they get on their spiritual journey, they're like, they feel, God, I've wasted so much time. I was so busy. What was I thinking? And it's one of those things, people on a spiritual journey, they realize, I've wasted so much time. I've wasted so much resources. That's why it's important. Like, start today. Start the spiritual life today. And you'll be surprised about how much investment of time and energy and resources that you've just been throwing away at things that actually won't mean much to you.
It's you know, it goes beyond the level that you're speaking on, right? Like that's, yes, certainly we all, you know, we all find we get confused. But even all powerful beings, right here are the Devas. These are people that get those positions. They, in previous lives, they've manifested extreme levels of self-control, you know?
Yeah.
But here they are, you know, they kind of rose to the top, but then the foundation that it was built upon, their own karma, started getting shaky. and they're confused, they're bewildered. They have to admit we're in illusion. Those that aren't in illusion feel secure and fearless at all moments. We're not like that right now. We're actually suffering because of our illusion. It's such a powerful force. Even the most powerful yogis, right? Bhagavatam is going to point that out. It's nothing compared to Krishna's power to put them in illusion. And so it's such a significant point, because it means that if we want to be truly free, there's only one door that you ultimately need to pass through, and that is Krishna's blessings. Right? Because none of us is a yogi powerful enough not to become bewildered. Not that in a moment this whole thing couldn't confuse them. But there's no space for pride in our yogic power, renunciation.
There's no space for it.
There's nothing, because he could say, oh really? Boom.
Boom, you're an illusion. Yeah, I mean, and then we hear about Lord Brahma. We hear about his power, his potency, how he's above every demigod, and then he falls into illusion.
Even him.
Even Brahma can fall into illusion,
Yeah.
right? That's why this humility, and humility is it's actually a type of deep honesty. It's not like you're just self-deprecating. I hate myself. I'm the lowest. No, it means reality. Reality is I am something very, very tiny, part of something much bigger. I'm not the center. I'm here to serve the center. But I am like a bacteria of the earth, in the same way there's millions of bacteria in my body. And then there's millions of planets, and there's millions of universes. And this is my insignificance, but I find my worth from my contribution to the whole.
Right. Yeah, this idea, this nuance that's there in Vedanta. There's the Bhakti school, and then there's the Advaita school, which is like the monist school, that everything is one. There's, again, when they speak of the nature of the self, a lot of times they'll use language and phrases that glorify the Atma, right? That it's eternal, unlimited, except, and it's like, and then they say, and you are that.
You are that. I am that.
But
I'm
then
unlimited. I am.
But and in one sense we are. We're eternal. We never die. We're made up of this luminous, spiritual energy that you just can't damage the stuff. You just can't,
it fits really good with people who've had broken families, abandonment issues, and they because you start to develop this self-hate or self-loathing, and then someone says, you are God. Yeah. You are eternal. You're all powerful. You are abundant, Kaustubha. Yeah. And then you're like, I am. So I am light and truth and love and I am whole. I am the center.
Right. But then the question comes, well, then why are you suffering? Right? If you are eternal blissful energy, then how is it? And if there's nothing beyond you, then how is it that you have a toothache? How is it that you have irritable bowel syndrome? How is it? How is it that you are depressed or bored? How is that?
How can I fall into illusion if I am God?
Yeah, and the Advaitin answers for that, I find them they really don't answer. They kind of, that's where like some of the smoke starts to get blown. Well, it's all Lila. It's all like play. Really? No. Krishna's Lila, that's play. He's dancing with beautiful girls, and he's like, he's running around doing all kind of incredible adventures. That's Lila. Lila isn't irritable bowel syndrome. Lila isn't suffering with a toothache. Lila
that's
isn't
my T-shirt, sir. Lila is not IBS.
Yeah. So we say, no, there is a reason, because we're made of that same energy, but we're a little tiny spark of it. And the source of our own source has the ability to cover us with illusion, right? We're eternal and unlimited and minuscule at the same time.
That's okay.
And and when we get it, that's why he's saying there's a hub, right? There's a center of all this, and we're like planets revolving around that center. If you just if you can see it that way, all the pieces of the picture fall together. You can understand, what is my place in the universe?
The living entity wants to become important in this material world. They want to be recognized. They want to be important, but they're going about it the wrong way. You're not going to get you're right. You're not going to get your importance from your wealth. I mean, there's certain other lost souls will be like, okay, he's got money, he's important, or you've got a position, you're important, or you're hot, you're sexy, you're important. But our importance comes from understanding our insignificance and how our insignificant self becomes significant. We become important in the eyes of divinity. And that's what we're shooting for. The other stuff comes and goes anyway. I got a lot of wealth. Now I'm significant. And now I've lost all my wealth and no one cares about me anymore.
Oh, I tell you, it's heartbreaking. See, the ups and downs that we go through, that other people go through.
Isn't it?
You know, it's similar to what you're saying there in the commentary to this verse, which we haven't read the whole verse yet, but Srila Prabhupada writes, the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we're saying he has three energies: internal, external, marginal, right? Us, the little sparks of little jiva sparks, we're the marginal, in between. Then he's got his internal spiritual energy, and then he has this external energy, which is the power to put us in illusion, right? It has that potency. And so he says the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives all conditioned souls, all this little sparks, what appears to be an opportunity to be happy within this material world. But that is Maya. That is illusion. In other words, it is a dream that is never fulfilled. The key to the universe, right? We're all thinking that this happiness that I'm seeking, this deep, lasting, fully satisfying happiness, it's just a few adjustments in the material world and it's all going to set in and then I'm going to be there.
Woo-hoo.
This is a dream that is never fulfilled. That's not how this world works. Come to terms with it. Come to terms with it. Right?
We are fish out of water. No matter where I take that fish on land, no matter what beautiful settings I take that fish, beautiful places, beautiful restaurants, beautiful natural wonders of the world, unless that fish is in the water, the fish can't be happy. It's that simple. We are not of this world. We're spiritual beings. We're of the spiritual realm. And that's why when you get into bhakti, sitting alone in a circle, sharing, hearing harikatha or spiritual conversation, that is the most satisfying thing you can do. There's no Eiffel Tower or Roman Colosseum or the Prague skyline that will affect you as deep. We were just saying last night in our night Bhagavad Gita class that we were saying, even when devotees do go to these beautiful places that the whole world wants to go to, what do when you get to Paris and Rome and Prague? You find a place where you can, let's go for a japa walk. Let's find some fresh food to eat, fresh natural fruits and vegetables. That's what you do anyway. Hey, that's you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Even, yeah. What do you say if you were an Advaitin? May the universe bless you.
Yourself.
Bless yourself.
There's a little side squirrel here that this originated because some believe that sneezing could expel the soul from the body, or could allow evil spirits to enter the body.
Yeah,
so the
that's
blessing
what I
was
heard.
intended to protect the person who sneezed and those around them.
They've really screwed up the whole concept of the soul. You can sneeze your soul out of your body.
Well, we say the yogis can exit this, they can kind of manipulate the soul right out of the body. Who knows? If you sneeze hard enough, Raghunath, it might happen.
You could sneeze. Yeah, maybe. Sneeze his head off.
Yeah, maybe. Why not?
Why not?
All right, we got to finish this verse. Read the whole thing again, 30.
Is this it?
Yeah.
No one can overcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead's Maya, which is so strong that it bewilders everyone, making one lose the sense to understand the aim of life.
Okay.
That same Maya, however, is subdued by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who rules everyone, and who is equally disposed towards all living entities.
That's good news.
That's great news. Let us offer obeisances unto him. So I always look like Maya as, in that interview the other day with Hriday Chaitanya, he told me these it was quite shocking. He also is scared of dogs. I'm sort of scared of dogs also. He says he was walking along the Black Sea, I think, and there were these Kungal dogs. You know what a Kungal dog is, Kostuba?
Kungal. Is it like a
Kungals are
hyena or
these
something?
giant dogs that hunt bears in packs. And
Kungal
he
dog.
said they're wild. Right? And
They're wild.
hunt
I think it's like
wolves.
a Turkish shepherd dog.
But anyway, he was like, he had to somehow defend himself. Imagine if you're walking down the street alone or walking around here, this happens. You're walking down a dirt road, and all of a sudden you hear, and you're like, oh God. And it's like, I'm always walking with Mara. We're always hearing dog, and I'm always bugging out because I'm
You're
scared
like
of dogs.
pushing me in front of the dog. It's like a little puppy.
Oh,
But the
Raghunath.
idea is that when those dogs, those big attack dogs, those pit bulls that everybody loves a pit bull, once they clamp on you cannot even fight them off you. You can't do anything against this type of energy or a pack of wolves or a pack of dogs.
Here we go in your turbo scenario here.
Not all dogs, not all pit bulls are attack dogs either.
Anyway,
Okay,
imagine,
you've been living
imagining.
for 58 years. How many times has this happened to you?
Listen, let me just go through this because I watch videos. This happens a lot. But my point is this: these pit bulls or these attack dogs, they can take you down, and then you're helpless. I don't know if you.
Okay.
There's some attacking going
Some
on.
Thank you
in
for
our living
animals.
room.
clarifying that, Raghunath.
Okay. I don't know if you hear what's going on in the background. There's a bird in the house. But
Oh,
anyway, the only way to get those dogs off you is if the master shows up and says, "Hey, sit down. Sit down." You're not going to fight them off. You're not going to wrestle them off. You're not going to choke one of these dogs out. You got to appeal to the master of the dog. And the dog and the master just has to, ever see these dog trainers who teach you how to just like Kim, who listens to the show. She just like moves her hand like that and the dog just heals. They don't even have to say anything. They just go like sign language to the dog. The dog's like, okay. That's what you need. And so when we approach Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, please, I can't deal with the struggle of this material energy. I've tried to work around it. I've tried to work hard. I've tried to be thoughtful. I've tried to meditate. But it's you, Krishna. Please protect me from this Maya. Please protect me from my bad choices. Please protect me from my mind. Please protect me from my desires. Please help me understand you. Maya pulls back. The dogs get put back. Heal.
Okay, there you go. What's the Bhagavad Gita verse I'm thinking of? That the material energy is very difficult to overcome.
But one is surrendered, we can quickly overcome it.
How can I not know that? I just need the first letter. It would be enough.
No.
No.
I don't know. Material energy to overcome. One, two.
Is little Karuna with us?
Material energy.
Daivi.
Daivihesha Gunamaya Mama Maya Durati.
Mama Maya Durati. Yeah.
Mameva ye prapajante mayam etang tarantate. That this
material.
material energy is Krishna's. It's his energy. It's his potency. It's got so much more power than we ever have. Even though our potency is his potency, and he's invested that illusory potency with the ability to cover us. But simply by surrendering to him, one can easily cross beyond it. That's
what we should do, Kastuba?
What's that?
Everybody's got to learn. When we were in the ashram, we learned shlokas. Like
Shloka partners.
How about a shloka a day? Maybe we should do that on the show. This month's shloka.
Oh, that's an idea.
Wouldn't that be great?
Shloka.
This month's
Okay.
shloka. We could end the show with it every day. We could start the show with it.
Maybe we should try that starting in November, or maybe
I think it's good. I
Kartik
think
or
it's great.
we're starting to kick off the ground this new initiative, this Sage Care initiative, And what we did was we polled all the Sage Group leaders. Next, we want to poll all the Sage Group members and say, like, what are the obstacles on your bhakti path? What is it that you bump into? What is it that's, the biggest challenge that you have in order to progress step by step? And we're getting a lot of feedback, and it has a lot to do. The biggest number one kind of thing. Money?
No, just kidding. What is it?
No,
Money.
No, it has to do with like alien, like being alienated in the sense that like I don't have enough sangha, I don't have enough good instruction, I don't have enough education. I need more in order to practice. And I think the kind of things you're saying, we need to get like a bunch of things going. We're like, yeah, maybe we can line you up with a shloka partner, you know, where you can study together. Maybe we can, you know, we got to come up with different ideas to keep it very lively and provide lots of opportunities.
I like the idea. We had when Shelter was on tour, when we were brahmacharis, we were shloka partners. We'd be like, okay, we are on tour for a month. We are gonna memorize chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, and we just go through it all. And we'd take turns with it.
Yeah,
and you just go through it, and it's a type of accountability, and
When
it's
I-
good to have these lodged in your mind
Yeah.
for when the material world starts to break down on you, and then you recall a shloka that helps you get out of the ditch.
there you go.
Mara, it is 8:03.
Yeah, we get
We have a
Or-
small little chicken in the house, and I gotta
causing
go
all sorts of trouble.
and I got the meeting and then go to the doctor's office today. So,
And then you got to go to the dump too.
and I got to go to the dump.
Now let's talk a little bit more, Raghunath.
Well, taste your own medicine. I got some takeaways today.
Okay, what you got?
Vishnu is beyond our mind and words.
Yeah, no doubt about
Our
that.
body, our body is a universe. You just like playing with
I
a
just like
squirrel.
playing with the squirrel.
Our body's the universe. Okay.
Establish the nature of the relationship to facilitate communication.
Kindness, but not the best T-shirt in the world, but
A little bit
No.
lengthy, but
Yeah, people are gonna be stopping, reading your shirt.
essential information.
it's important. Vishnu is the central reality.
Okay. Yeah.
These are all boring.
What are you
No, Raghunath, they're not. They're not.
S- Start your spiritual life today.
There you go. That's a good one.
Okay.
Don't throw your time and resources
We're
away
not
from Maya.
judgmental around here. at all. Good one, bad one. Try again.
No, my specialty
say
is
that?
making like real little concise sutras that you hold with you. That
You're
All right.
you're special in so many ways, Raghunath.
Oh, thank
you
you.
really are. Okay, continue, bro.
All right. This
Jiva
one you're
is
going to like.
laughing, knee slapping laughter. Come here, Jiva. Get over here.
No, we're in the middle of takeaway.
No, wait,
They'll
let's see
take
Jiva.
away her.
She can be here too.
We are fish out of water.
Boom.
Like
Oh,
a fish out of water. Remember that song,
Yep,
Raghunath?
I do. I'm not here.
Humility is a deep, honest look at reality.
Yeah,
There you go. That's a good one.
deep.
We are eternal, unlimited, and minuscule and vulnerable.
Oh, yeah,
Minuscule.
simultaneously.
Krishna, please protect me from Maya.
Please.
Krishna Jinka Namahe.
The material world is heartbreaking.
Oh, that's a great shirt. The material world is heartbreaking.
Mm,
And
yeah,
Lila isn't irritable bowel syndrome.
that's a fact.
That's a fact. Oh, thanks everybody.
All right.
Oh, looking forward to seeing everybody Friday for the Jiva G Bhakti Recovery Day.
Look how excited Karuna and Madhurya are to come.
Karuna and Madhurya are kicking
Come
their
to Super
heels
Soul
with it.
Farm. It's crazy.
They're
huh?
gonna get to meet our peacocks and our little baby chicken, our mini chicken.
We got a mini chicken. He's sort of like a house chicken.
House chicken.
Yeah, yes.
Look at Madhurya.
Madhurya
It's a house
gets to see-
chicken.
Wait till you see Sita, the little baby chicken.
And the
And he's
sheep.
and he's not growing any bigger. It's just like a mini. She's a miniaturized chicken.
He's really sweet.
Then we got big chickens, and then we got guinea fowl, and we got some sheep.